we will discuss on partnerships versus LLP. See, the presentation will explore the key differences between general partnerships and limited liability partnerships, that is LLPs. General partnerships, the overview, you see the structure. All partners are equally liable for business debts. They are personally liable. And if you see the management, partners share decision making and operational control. And the limited liability, the overview, the structure of LLP, partners have limited liability. The name itself, it shows the liability is limited. So, protecting personal assets of the partners. So, the liability is to the extent of their investment, to the extent of their shareholding in the LLP. Management, partners can have varying level of controls and responsibility. So here, partners' personal assets are going to be protected. And the liability key differences is, in general partnership, all partners are personally liable for business debts, including their assets. Whereas LLPs provide limited liability. So shielding partners from personal liability, so they can protect from personal liability. Their personal assets are protected in LLP. So this means creditors can pursue personal assets in general partnerships. Taxation, the differences in partnerships, partners report their share of income and expenses on personal tax returns. Whereas in LLPs file separate tax return. Entity will file a separate tax return and distribute income and expenses to partners. The formation and administration. See, the partnership agreements are typically less formal than LLP agreements. Administration, LLPs require more extensive paperwork compared to, even in compliance procedure, there are certain forms needs to be filed with Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Annual returns has to be filed with MCA. And if at all there is a change in the LLP agreement, and again, certain forms need to be filed with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Then choosing the right structure. So what would be the right structure, whether partnership firm or LLP? See, considering the liability exposure, tax implications, and administrative burden, so one can take a decision and can evaluate the nature of business and industry regulations and partners' relationships. Based on these grounds, so decision can be taken. Benefits of an LLP. The major benefit is the limited personal liability, so protects partners from the financial risk. Flexible management. This flexible management structure accommodates varying level of involvement. In LLPs, can attract investors due to limited liability and tax advantages. The key takeaways. The general partnerships and LLPs offer different level of liability and administrative requirements, as we have discussed. So, understanding the key differences, that is the most important for informed decision. Or otherwise, you can consult with the legal professionals to determine the correct structure, ideal structure for your business, considering long-term goals and risk tolerance and potential liability exposure. So my advice would be, this only advice. So based on the liability and long-term goals and risk tolerance and potential liability exposure, I prefer limited liability partnerships, that is LLPs, than general partnerships. So LLP would be the better choice than partnership. Thank you.